the upcoming this end of this year, the upcoming year, what we would be looking at is that we will be looking for a further reduction in the value of the dollar. But again, remember that the 110 itself, it's not yet ruled out. The probability of 110 is not ruled out, right? Do we agree on that? Okay, so the probability of that is not ruled out, but there is a condition that has to be followed for us to consider 110 as a probability. That mean, or consider 110 as a potential price. Remember last time when we spoke about this part here. We spoke about this part here, right? And when we spoke about this part, we asked one question: how significant is this area? Like, how significant is this price level once this area was liquidated, which was like May 2023, right? So that area, it was created then, but it got liquidated when September 2023, right? So the question that we asked is that how significant was this forced liquidation of that set swing high? How important was it? That was the question that we asked, and we said that if this is truly as important as we think it might be, or as less important, then based on the Dow theory, it will determine the direction. It will determine whether the price will continue to rally or it will drop. Because if we consider this one as being a significant point within the market that led to a change in the trend based on the Dow theory, right? That means that 110, it's in play. Are we okay with that? And what we also said, we said that again, when we are looking at this thing, because if you can go on a monthly time frame, the significant one is this, and this, right? And before that, we would actually consider this and this one here, right? Let's go back to the 1 week. Okay, now this is the situation that we currently are dealing with, right? Where we have seen the fourth quarter low, isn't it? Which is relatively around the closing price. We have seen that the market actually came into that region. But to come into a region and to liquidate a region is two totally different situation, right? Because once we have seen that the market came into a specific region, remember, there are pawns, and whenever you are playing chess, there are pieces that are key importance, right? And there are pieces that they are worth sacrificing for the greater good, isn't it? So now, each and every swing low, I think we need to look at it in terms of a chess perspective. Each and every swing low, each and every price level, each and every a support or a resisting price needs to be looked at, and whether it is a pawn, a rook, is it a rook, whether it is a horse, whether it is, you understand what I mean? Whether it's a queen or what. You guys, okay. Okay. Now let's look at this, right? When you they the each and every move that is made within chess, it has a greater good, isn't it? You don't just make a move out of making a move just because I'm saying that if you are competing, not when you are just practicing, like learning, right? You can know how the piece moves, but to think beyond how the piece actually move, it comes with more about understanding your opponent. So once you are like understanding yourself and also your opponent, you have to predict the movements of your opponents before the opponent does make his move. So basically, you are competing against yourself, right? And you're competing against yourself and the opponent. Now, question, very question, right? Each and every swing low that gets liquidated, it has its importance to a certain degree, but yet there is one that has even more importance. That's the one that leads to a checkmate, right? Okay, you have this one. You can look at this one as a this swing low maybe as a queen, to look at it from that perspective. To lose that part, it picture this is the one that, let's say maybe it's a piece within the board that protects your king. Meaning that if you lose that piece, you are now at a vulnerable stage whereby being checkmate is something that is imminent, isn't it? You get it? Okay. Now, to liquidate the Q4 low puts the 2023 swing low at risk. To liquidate that Q4. And when I say liquidate, I don't mean that, I mean to completely liquidate a specific area. For example, you have these two situations, right? Guys, am I confusing you? I'm sorry, guys. My mind sometimes, Lena, it plays tricks on me, so I subject you to all the trickery. So yeah, man. Uh, I'm not tricking you guys. I'm not Leban. But yeah. So what I'm saying is that, like, okay. By the way, that was a biblical joke. If you didn't get it, you need to attend more prayer sessions. This is how you advertise praying, guys. You see that when they go on YouTube and do the sponsors, this is, you see, I added our sponsor with it, by the way. If you didn't get it, forget about it. Okay, now, okay, let's look at this situation. We're looking at this situation. There are multiple swings, and these swings, the way they got liquidated, they provided a certain, element to the market, right? When you have this type of situations, this itself is not a forced liquidation per se in terms of its intensity, in terms of its significance. When we're looking at it and say a significant break above or below, this is a reflection of significant break above this area. And this is a reflection of a significant break below this area. This itself is not a significant break similar to this one. Its significance is limited. There is a certain degree in which the market needs to liquidate a specific area in order for the transition of power to completely, be handed over to the opposite section, or the opposite, or the ops, let's put it that way. Okay. Are you following, guys? Are you guys following? Are you following? Or should how are you following? Okay. So now we're looking at this question. So we're looking at this situation. So now question is that if you were to look at it from this area here, right? remember, this is the checkmate point, right? This is where this is